Neocolor I, Neocolor II, Neoart and Neopastel, all from Caran D'ache. Hello, so I'm going to do a test today on comparing Neocolor I, Neocolor II, Neoart and Neopastel, all from Caran D'ache. I've just finished recording this video here on which pencils lay on top of different mediums, and that included those 4 Caran D'ache pastels. So I thought I would take the testing a little bit further then. Let me move this out of the way. Also, if you're interested in how I layer my mixed media, I created for you this mixed media layering guide. You can download it for free. There's a link to my Ko-fi in the description below. And if you do enjoy this content and you do feel like tipping the chef, so to speak, you are welcome to leave a donation there as well. It will definitely go back onto art supplies because I have a problem. Here's my problem. My problem is I now have all the 4 crayons or pastels from Caran D'ache, and I'm trying to figure out how to best use them now. So let's talk about what we have. So we got the Neopastels, oil pastels. Okay, so these are the ones that are artist quality and oil based. So just like your regular oil pastels. Then, oh, this too is actually now. I have the Neocolor IIs. Now, the Neocolor IIs are a really nice crayon that is water soluble. Oh, there's a Neocolor I in here. How did that happen? Oh, I better make sure that goes back in the right one. That could have been upsetting. So, yeah, so the Neocolor IIs, and this is the problem, the Neocolor I and the Neocolor II look exactly the same. So how do you know what you're getting and which one to get? Well, the Neocolor IIs are aquarelle, which means they're water soluble, so they're going to behave like a wax crayon until you hit it with the water. Neocolor I, on the other hand, when you hit these with the water, it's not going to budge. It's not going to move because they are wax-based and non-soluble. Let me pull out the tray. Okay, so that means in here somewhere I have a Neocolor II floating around, and I would really like to find it. Ooh, there we go. How you can tell, the Neocolor II has a black band and the Neocolor I has a full color on the sleeve. So I'll fix that one. And then newly released are the Neoarts. And these are labeled as a wax oil pastel. So leaning a little bit more towards wax, definitely much firmer. But let's have a little play with all of them and find out what the differences are. And hopefully that will make you a little bit more informed on which ones to use for which, or which ones to buy first. Let's have a little look. Okie dokie. So I'm using this, it's nothing special. It's just some oil pastel paper. It's just budget friendly, but it has got some texture to it. Neocolor I, Neocolor II, Neopastel, and Neoart. Now I'm going to treat the Neocolor IIs as a dry medium today, but I will show you how the water will react to it, and we'll double check that the others don't react to water, which should be self-explanatory, but you never know. I've seen strange things in art products. So here we go. Let's start off with our first test. And here's our Neocolor Is, and we will do a smudgeability test. So one of the bonuses of having oil or waxed crayon pastels is that they make very good smudging. Okay, that will be the Neocolor I. This will be the Neocolor II. And straight away, these are definitely softer than their cousins over there. Neopastel. very soft, and you can see some crumbs coming off there. So very thick lay down. And then the Neoart. Much, much firmer. More of a soft pencil kind of quality. Okay, so in terms of smudgeability, I'm going to use a tissue just so that my oils don't affect anything or I get contamination across. So mild smudgeability from the Neocolor ones there, but it will go a little bit. Neocolor II's a bit more because of them being softer. You do get a little bit more product down. Neopastel. So here's our oil offering. Lots of smudging going on there. And Neoart, our wax oil. Again, definitely more smudging than our two crayons here. So if you're going for smudgeability, here's your choices. Then we're going to look at blendability. So how do they blend together? Now, if I take a light-ish layer, I'm not going down on full power yet. I don't think you'll see the yellow too well, so maybe we should go for this one, which they call purple. They're calling this one purple, but it sits more on the magenta side of things. Okay, so if I treat these like I would with my pencils and layer them up gradually, you do see a very nice blend happening in the middle. Okay, so that's a beautiful blend. Let's do the same with the Neocolor II's. And they seem to be more, there seems to be more opacity with these ones whilst they're dry. I know that they remain quite thick when they're watered down as well. And if you were to water react these, I think I have a water pen here. You could just blend them with water. So right in the middle, you can blend these. And they do blend and react to the water beautifully. So that might be a reason to go with the Neocolor II's. That's the only property that has a water solubleness. Let's check out the Neopastels. So because that instantly lays down quite a bit of the oil product, I'm not going to work the layers up gradually to mix these. It's just going to start happening straight away. And then it's really just going to be a matter of playing until you get it right, because it's very thick and you're just layering and layering until you want to just come in and smush it together. So that needs a little bit of smushing. These guys kind of blend themselves with their own nibs. But the Neopastel needs a little bit of encouragement if you want to get that mixing. Let's see how the Neoart does. Is this going to bother your OCD? Because it's going to bother mine now that I started with that colour and not this colour. Oh well. All right, anyway. So with these being a bit more firmer, I'm feeling like I need to layer them up a bit more. So again, they're feeling a little bit more like, yeah, it's definitely the firmness. So let's see what happens when, because I didn't get a perfect gradient like that, but let's do some smushing. There we go. It's smushed, but it kind of took some of the blue off. So that's interesting. Okay. So if you're looking for smushability or blendability with itself, Neopastel will do it very easily. This one, less so. So this one is not your, and again, that's a property of oil pastels. So I wonder about layering. Let's see. So if we had layered, let's start with blue again. And if we were going to layer on top, so let's say I have a nice square and it's pretty flat. It's full. And I'm going to go on top with this color. And I was able to go on top of that. Let's make things crazy. Let's bring yellow in. And yep, that has layered really nicely on all three as well. So imagine this is a Venn diagram. That middle layer has all three. And then here comes their white. What happens if we want to draw on top with white? And I still can. So the layers are looking pretty good with this. Same test to Neocolor II. Layer 1. Tooth is as full as it needs to be a completely flat coloring. Layer 2. And that's definitely more opaque. I know we can see that it's blended. We can see the purple in the middle there, but it's definitely knocking that blue back way more than what's over there. These two sides have exactly the same colors as each other. But let's try with the yellow. Okay. So yeah, we got all of those layers to come up, and then here comes the white. Yeah. And that's how they're layering up. So that's layering up very nice, and you've got some nice, almost translucent like qualities on there, which is making the colors stand out. So here we go, Neopastels. They feel so different. Going from these two guys, which are quite firm, this suddenly feels like you're just putting you're just putting like warm butter into the paper. But there we go. Layer one. Layer two, and I can see a little bit of purpling where they've mixed. Not so much as these. Layer three. Smudged. Okay, so they are more of a smushy, smudgy thing than a layering up thing, unless you're going to embrace this nature of oil pastels where you do want that thick application and layering on top. But check out this white. Oh, wow. And again, look at the crumbles. Okay, so this is just something that we have to put up with oil pastels, so we can't be mad that they're reacting like oil pastels. But now the Neoart. So these guys are new. They've just come out, or they've just been re-released or something. So it's going to be interesting to see how they are received. I've seen mixed opinions on these, but what I did, the reason they came into my life is I had no idea these were about to be released. I'd already had these two, and I literally just bought the Neopastels because I had an amazing offer come up on that one, so I bought those. The day those arrived, these came out, and so I was very confused that there might be another product that isn't like something I already have, because these seem to be quite unique and quite special. So they almost sounded more special than these because these are oil pastels. I can, get oil pastels here, there, everywhere. But this formulation for a nice firm oil wax pastel got my attention. And look, we've got the layering happening here as well. So it is a bit more smushy than these two, but we're not getting the same wild stuff going on over here. But let's see how the yellow does, because obviously that's going to push it around quite a bit as well. But hey, look at that. If you keep your crayon clean, because I did pick up some color in the process, but if you keep that crayon clean, that would have stayed yellow. Now I have an idea. I want to know, if that happens, what we can do about it. If you're working on a piece of art and you end up with an oopsie like that, let's try just scraping it back a little bit. Okay, it seems to be well in there. I have scraped some of the yellow off, but then can I go over the top? I'm having to work it quite a bit, so it's a bit tricky, but I did knock it back quite a bit. I also noticed you're not getting a completely flat layer on top. So compared to these ones, where it's fairly consistent where they overlap, here it's more streaky. Okay, so what can we do with this information? I can try and be a bit more careful. That's the first option, and that seems to work okay. Yeah, let's check out their white. Lovely. Again, it does pick up some color, so make sure you keep wiping that off. But very nice. Okay. Let me take a minute to think what we can test next. Okay, so I'm not really, so this test is for you. I'm not really a solvent kind of person, but I know that we can do some blending with solvents on wax and oil-based products. So I have just some pencil blending solution here in a sponge in a little jar, and we'll see how that breaks down the binders and how you can pull that out. So maybe we should see how that helps them blend as well. Let's have our pink and our blue Neocolor ones. And it is a nice way to get rid of the texture from the grain of the paper and to blend them. Definitely. Between each of these, I'm going to give this a little sand so that it doesn't affect what we do with the others. Okay. So this one we won't bother because we know we can do that with water, and that's how they're designed with that in mind. Neopastels, very soft and creamy, as we know, would normally just smudge them together. But if we bring in a solvent, then yeah, that totally emulsifies that down. That's really nice, actually. Ah, darn it. I still don't want to be a solvent kind of person. But that worked really well. Really well. That's so much more flat now than that. Like, that's tacky and thick. And this is going to give you such a nice smooth result. Okay. One more for the solvent. Neoart. Okay. That's tougher. I mean, it does work. It is breaking it down and blending, but it's almost like it just wants to leave you with the bottom layer of the product and not smooth out. So yeah, you can use solvent on these, but I'm probably thinking, I don't know. Let me do one more. Let me do one more. It's very smeary. It's very irregular. I don't have a nice soft blend like I do with the others. But it's okay. We're not trying to find the crayon that's best at everything. We're trying to find out what the crayon's purpose in life is. Okay, and maybe this guy just isn't the smushy blendy one. Yeah, so as soon as I go over there where that blue was on the top, it's just taken the blue off the pink completely. Okay. So I'm not thinking it's too good at that. All right, interesting test. Now then, let's have a little think. What's another test we can do here? Do, 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 do. let's see how opaque they are on black. How about that? So here I come in. It's just a Faber-Castell Pitt pen. So it is India ink and will dry and shouldn't do too much to the surface. So the surface should still be ready to take on the pastel. And I will go through the other key differences about these products, such as the price per crayon and also the light fastness, because that is something that these Neoarts, that is the big selling point of these. I know that these are all light fast ratings 1 and 2, so they're very, very light fast. I mean, there's you know, that everything is going to be, I think, 50 years or above, with a lot of the colors being 100 years. The other products do have good light fast ratings as well, so it depends what you're looking for. If it's in a sketchbook, it doesn't matter. You're not interested in light fastness in a sketchbook. So Neocolor I. Probably should have done that little bigger line. I'm going to give myself a little bit more space to work with. Okay, so Neocolor I's definitely got some great opacity there. I'll hold that up in just a second. There we go, see? Lose a little bit on the yellow and the white, but the blue came out really nice. Neocolor II. More opaque than that one. Oh, lovely. Not sure if that's just because my crayon is dull or if it is just less opaque than the Neocolor I on the blue. And less opaque on the on the magenta color here. So they call it purple. So I can see more of this color here on the Neocolor I than I can over here on the 2. But the white and the yellow came out really well, and less so on the Neocolor I's. So if you're an artist that is using these on a black background, then maybe you're going to be mixing and matching the Neocolor I's to find the ones that are opaque enough for you. Neopastel time. Wow. This almost completely whited it out. Yellow's looking good. And I would expect these to be really opaque. Yeah, because I mean it's thick oil. It's gonna cover everything up. Very cool. All right, Neoart time. Ooh, great start. Let's see if we can keep that up. Yep. Okay. Well, I don't think I have any coloring pencils that could beat that. And I have the Faber-Castell black edition as well. And I don't think that would pop a punch as much as that. Okay. So let's see how they handle going on top of pencil. And let's try a luminance. So this is made by Caran D'ache as well. And I'm going to pretend that I've pretty much filled the tooth. And I'll do a little bit of a light coverage as well, just in case I can use them, but not if the tooth is full, you know, so maybe it will go on top of the pencil, but it needs a bit of tooth. We'll find out. So fully burnished over here, less so over there. I love these pencils. Now, let me think, where are we with these? These are more of a wax-based pencil. They all have wax and oil in them, but this one leans closer to wax, and a polychromo leans closer to oil. So let's just do a polychromo as well, and then we've covered both of our bases here. Okay. Neocolor one time. Let's try blue. We'll do some white. Okay. Yeah, so that's nice. A Neocolor one will go on top of the luminals. And the polychromos. Oh, I can hear someone shouting at the screen. Does somebody want me to try it with a Prismacolor? Okay. Let's try with a Prismacolor. So now if you're into your coloring, you've definitely got some of these in your stash. But yeah, these are more waxy as well, so it is a fair thing to test, especially with these guys. I want to see how these do on top of pencils. And I want to see pencil on top of them as well. So I'm going to do that in a moment. Let me just make a note that we have the luminance, the polychromos, and the prisma. Okay. And again, I don't see any reason why that's not going to work. I mean, it's going to be down to the opacity of the individual colors as well. What I'm wondering though is how can we blend out? Yes, we can. Okay. You can use these to blend into your pencils. Yep, every single one of them. So I got rid of the tooth of the paper there and burnished that pencil sides in on all three of those pencils with the crayon. So you can, with the Neocolor ones, use them with your pencils. Wonderful. Neocolor II time. What have you got for us? Let's take a little look. And again, yes, they'll go on top. And yes, you can blend. I mean, it's there's no evidence that there were pencil marks there before. It's gone. Wonderful. Okay. So these are turning out to be really complementary to each other. And I'm struggling to see why you would need both unless you want that, in the world of mixed media, you have water stuff happening and sometimes you want to resist and sometimes you want to be soluble. Then you can build up your collection from here. But let's keep going with these two. There isn't a bad pastel here. I probably should have stated that this is not a challenge so much because, yeah, wow, so thick. That would be an issue. Okay, so Neopastels, again, one of the qualities of oil pastels is you can't really get that fine nib. You're not going to get that fine point. This is not going to be the guy for your fine detail unless you're going to just, do like little tiny bits there, but you might get a little frustrated. And again, really opaque. Will they blend into pencil? Yes, it's smearing. Yeah, okay. That was the luminance. This is the poly. Here's the prisma. Oh, okay. I feel like this side of things actually picked up more pigment from the pencil. But yeah, that's not white here now. It's made its own pink from the pigment. So compare to a Neocolor, you're blending out quite nicely and smoothly. Here it's way more aggressive. And that's cool. Like I say, they're all cool. They're all doing the jobs they're designed for. Neoart. About on par with the opacity of these guys. This one here on the blue. But then the white is more opaque than those. See, this is why you gotta just end up with them all, right? Because no full set of anything. It's a conspiracy, probably. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no full set of anything has consistent properties in every single color. Interesting reaction when trying to blend. And I kind of like it, but it's you can still see where the original color was, but it has blended into it. What to do with this information? So it's not really pushing the color around much. I mean, it is because I see it getting picked up on the crayon. So this is good. This is good. It's just different. It's less soft. I think that's where I'm going. It's less soft than this one. So this one is pretty soft, blending out with the white. This one, you're still getting a lot of texture. I feel like that's the vibe of this whole Neoart anyway, though, is the amount of texture you're getting. Like if you like brush strokes, if you like pencil marks, you're going to achieve that look easily here. If you like the soft, blurred out smooshiness, you're going to like this. If you want literally the guys that are right in the middle of these two worlds, you're going to want these, and then with the option of whether you want it to play or not play with water. So now I want to know if the pencils are going to go on top. So let me do blue, blue, and blue, 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 and blue. Blue. And I'll mark these again. We've got luminance, polychroma, and prisma. Okay, luminance is up. And this is the test that I did do here, where I was trying out different pencils on top. So it's kind of like more of a condensed one, and I did have all the Neocolors on there, but I guess having just done that test today, I seem to have forgotten I've already done that. But here we go again. Ooh. Okay, so I can go on top of these with luminance. Bit kind of streaky and slippery here. Better there. Will work down here. Let me push these up a little bit more for you. So, okay, it works. It's not the most opaque color, so I'm not getting it super, super, super laid down on top. Polychromo. Yeah, less so on the Neocolor II. Okay, so we're starting to find maybe a functional difference apart from this side, why you might want to have the ones instead of the twos. So if dry pencils is your thing, it's going to be this one. They do not like polychromos on top of the Neoarts. Being a wax oil pencil, maybe it's going to like the Prismacolor a bit more. The polychroma did go on top of the oil pastel okay though, but again, I don't know. I mean, like it'll work. I'm just not sure how much enjoyment you're going to get out of that unless it's just mark making. All right, Prismacolor. Not so much. Definitely not so much. Forget about it. Okay. Yeah, they like each other. So let's test just for this one then. If I have an underpainting with my Neoarts ready for my prismas on top. Can I just pretend they're the same thing? Ladies and gentlemen, Prismacolor and Neoarts together working side by side. Okay. And if I were to do Prismacolor and the Luminance pencil, wow. Okay. Yes. That was a very good test just for the Neoarts. So basically, not your polychromos, but your Luminance, your Prismacolors will treat the Neoart like it's a pencil. So if you need to do the large areas for your pencil work, and you're going to go with these guys on top and not the polychromos, that is a winner. Okay, so maybe the Neoarts work best when they're playing with your waxy pencils. Your Neopastels, again, are quite different to all the others because of how much of an oil pastel they are, but this is where you're going to get your nice smooth blends, strong opacity, lots of smudgy stuff going on. Also remember, oil pastels, okay, different when it's been used under the solvent, but these are going to stay tacky, so it's all going to need to be protected. These also may smear somewhat, but not as much as the oil pastels. You're going to get some smearing in time from the twos and the ones, but not as much as these guys. So whatever fixative you want to use in this world, you'll be good. But Neopastels are their own beast, remember, so slightly different way, probably better to just cover it. That has been very useful. So I guess the only thing really left to think about is the price point for each. You know, so we've got to think about budget and we've got to think about light fastness. As I say, the Neoarts are completely light fast ratings 1 and 2. They don't have a full set of colors. Their full range at the moment is what you see here and here and here. That is all of the Neoarts. At the time that I purchased these just this week, they were cheaper on Blick by buying them individually than they were in the set. And that is a set of 48, I think, or was it 50? 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, yeah, 24, 48, 49. Oh, I bought an extra black and an extra what I thought was white, but I made an oopsie and I bought 2 bismuth whites instead, which is slightly off-white. But I do recommend any of these, get yourself bonus whites. So I got an extra couple there. Neopastel. They have more colors, so they have a line of 96 of them. And I have my swatches here. This is the Neopastels. So again, very smeary, very smudgy, Can even keep your color charts safe. Comes with 3 metallics, which I'm never interested in. You know, sell a set of metallics if you want, but don't stick them in with my regular colors because that's not super metallic-y. That's just me, but I love these. So Neopastel, what's the light fast deal with these? Excellent light fastness. Allows unlimited shading and mixing with fingers. I mean, this is totally about the layerability and the blend, but you know, the smushability. You can just keep going until you know, gravity has plans instead. Matte appearance, does not powder and does not dry out, so you're always going to need to keep a fixative, and there is a fixative that Caran D'ache sells. I just want to see, there's no color chart in here. Does it tell us on here about the light fastness? Yes, so you've got the 3-star rating here. 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars. Every single one of them I picked up is 3 stars. Let me grab a couple more. Are they all 3 stars? 2 star. Okay, so they're all really up there in terms of light fastness. Then we have our Neocolor I and Neocolor II. The Neocolor I has a limited range, so they have a limited palette. I did pick up another white for them, but yeah, this is the whole set here. The whole set comes in just a small tin. So limited numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, right, so 40 colors in the Neocolor I. And in terms of light fast, I'm not seeing that on the crayon itself. Let me check the Neocolor IIs. Yeah, it's not clearly indicated on these what their light fast ratings are, but I know I've got a feeling they're half decent. Let me take a look. Let's pop over to the Caran D'ache website and we'll start with the Neocolor I pastels, and they do have a color chart here which shows 3 stars as an excellent light fastness, 2 stars is very good, and 1 is good. So as you can see, almost all the colors are 2 and 3 stars, with a couple of exceptions on the 1 star. Also noticed here, I forgot to mention that they do actually do a set of 10 metallic colours, and it looks like they all have very good and excellent light fast ratings as well. So they're on my wish list. I don't know how I feel about metallics, but I wonder if the crayons might be a bit more fun to use. They are fabulous on dark cardstocks. I do actually have a video that I made a while back about the Derwent metallic pencils on black colorings, and yeah, they work really well. I just find that they're not crayons and pencils don't tend to be super metallic compared to liquid mediums like paint. However, I'm open to play. And as for the 1 star light fast here, it's the 2 blues that you can see there. That's ultramarine and dark ultramarine. And then it looks like everything else is 2 and 3. The Neocolor IIs, this time those colors, let's have a look. Ultramarine, yeah, I can see that's still a 1 star. 84 colors, so you can buy all of these, no metallics. Again, 1 to 3 star rating with a lot of 3 stars. But obviously, because there's more colors, they do have a lot more colors that are on the 1 star side of things. So a lot of the purples, pinks, a couple of the blues. So that kind of area. I can see the ochre is 1 star. Um, is that the salmon? Yeah. So there's quite a few. So if that's a problem for you, then make a note of those colors. If you're doing something that's not going to be protected, make sure to avoid those particular 1 stars. Otherwise, if it's sketchbook stuff, coloring book stuff, none of that matters anyway. But yes, definitely you can make a nice big palette from the 2 and 3 stars here. And sorry, just fact checking myself there. There are 3 metallics. You've got the bronze, the silver, and the gold, but no colored metallics like in the Neocolor I. Now the Neopastels. So we have 96 colors here, so you can buy the whole set like I have. And they do have, again, a very, very high light fast rating for them. We see them on the labels, but again, the website doesn't have a color chart for us to look that up easily. As of yet, I'm sure they will. But yeah, so again, this would be their 3-star light fast rating, like they've done for the crayons, the Neocolor I and II. And then here we go, the Neoart. So what makes them special? The first wax and oil pastel to conform to the standard ASTM D6901, which is offering unrivaled color intensity and exceptional light fastness for up to 100 years. So that is why artists are getting very excited about these. That means we can create museum quality artworks that are going to last time. It goes on, this permanent pastel combines the softness of wax with the richness of oil, creating a unique texture. So yes, they are very special. They are feeling like a new product. And yeah, as we can see, they're going to play with a lot of things in your mixed media cabinets. A fun line on this page is that they are setting a new standard for pastels. So I wonder if this high standard of testing and rating is going to now be part of how they review their products moving forwards. It's definitely given them an edge, I think. Okay, I've done the number thing now. Neocolor I and Neocolor II, their retail price, so shop around and get them at a better deal, but their retail price per crayon open stock is $2.50. The Neoart and the Neopastels, they come in retail for open stock for one, $3.10. So about 60 cents difference, right? On Blix, the Neoart set is out of stock, but it worked out cheaper to buy them all open stock and then chuck in your extra white. Okay, don't get the bismuth white doubled up like I did. Get your normal white doubled up. Because of how impressed I was with this little test here, I just want to do the same test again with the Neocolor I, because I'm thinking this could also be a really good base for coloring books or coloring work. So let's try this with the luminance and the prisma. And as you can see, it works. It works. We get that really nice blend. I think I prefer these to do it, but I, wouldn't be able to, in a blind test, be able to tell you which one was which at the end of the day. Okay, so before I go, I did say that I would just give you a little bit more information on the Neocolor IIs. And I have somewhere I did it. Crash. Here we go. I knew it was within reach. This is Stillman and Burn Nova series, the trio pad. And I did I've been doing some online classes. I've been doing the watercolor crayon class with Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter. So this is all Neocolor IIs on the tan paper and the black here. And you don't need a lot of water to activate, so even non-watercolor paper reacts really well to it. You don't get so much crinkling. You can use these in coloring books and just, flatten the page out. If it hasn't had so much water added to it, you should be really, really good. And yeah, so they work really, really nice. The other thing that people love about the Neocolor IIs is you shouldn't have any waste whatsoever, because if you need to sharpen or any bits break off, you put them in a palette and then you add water and it will become a watercolor. It'll dry up. You can mix your own colors. You can literally treat them like watercolor at this point. Da 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 da. And also, if you don't have any sharpenings or any sprinklings of them, you can also just take your water brush or a wet paintbrush direct to the crayon and ta-da. Okay, so very, very versatile. Now, I can't tell you which one to get because your use case might going to be different to mine. But hopefully this has demystified the world of the Caran D'ache crayons and pastels, and you are ready to go and make an informed decision. Bonus test time. I'm just doing a quick grid just to see if I can mix these with each other. Can I blend one into the other? Let's find out. Scribbling my Neocolor Is, scribbling my Neocolor IIs. Neopastels. Don't get these if you hate mess. It's like oil pastel speckles everywhere. And the new kid in town, Neoart. Now let's try. So obviously we know it's going to mix with itself. Da 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 da. But will a Neocolor I mix with a Neocolor II? Should probably do that to indicate. Yes, they will. It's a bit smushy, but yes, they will. What about with a Neopastel? Kind of like that. What about with a Neoart? Yep, kind of, sorta. It doesn't want too many layers though. So it doesn't, Neoarts don't want a lot of heavy layering. So that would have to be done gently and gently. Okay, so you can mix colors. You'll get something moving with that. Okay. Neocolor II time. And one way around. This is high risk now because there's a chance I might get the wrong. Okay, well, you know what? They layer on top. Neocolor IIs go on top of Neocolor Is very well. All right. Neocolor, why am I doing Neocolor II with a Neocolor II? I don't know. Neocolor II with a Neopastel, and you get a smush. You can smush them together. And then with the Neoart, much more opaque, kind of starts to skate on top of the Neoart. Where are we? You're one of these, you're one of these. Neopastel. Haven't I kind of done these already now? Am I doing the same thing twice each time? Again, because it's oil-based. Oh, the opacity when it goes on top of the Neoarts. See, top layer. This is a top layer product. You'll be using these other ones on the bottom layer, and then you'll come in with the pastels on top. That's how you're going to do your mixed media layering with these guys. Okay, and then the Neoarts. Of course we know. Art with art is going to talk. And sometimes you do need to go back and forth. You don't blend by just touching and layering. That would be layering. If you want to blend, you're going to have to go back and forth a few times. But yep, there we go. Another interesting test to see how they behave together, because yeah, why not have them all? I'll put down some links in the descriptions to help you find these, and happy coloring and happy arting. And please let me know if this was of use to you. I'll put a link down to my Ko-fi store where I will try and get I'll try and add a picture of this to my mixed media handouts. At the moment it's just this one on there, but I will probably just upload a photo as well. But bear with me if you don't see it. If you're watching this in the future and you can't find a picture of these anywhere, let me know and I'll try and get that fixed for you. Enjoy your weekend.